Dove Springs is a neighborhood in transition, but like many neighborhoods in Austin, Dove Springs faces unique pressures.
When we initially came into the Dove Springs community, there was lots of violence, lots of gang activity.
One of the primary pressures we've seen is the lack of infrastructure and environmental support to live a healthy life.
The prevalence or the rate of obesity and overweight among kids was the absolute highest in Dove Springs, and that their fitness levels were the absolute lowest.
So when we heard about the study of youth obesity, we were like, really? You know, we need to let everybody know.
For us, because such a key goal of Gava is sustainability and taking the efforts forward for longer than we're in the neighborhood, we really needed a core set of community leaders.
We are sponsoring a free soccer tournament.
Who were organized, who had a common agenda. We found those leaders in Dove Springs.
And what's the timeline for that goal?
Gava is an initiative, Go Austin, Vamos Austin, that is led by the Michael and Susan Dell Foundation that has brought 3 partners together, Sustainable Food, the Austin Project, and Austin Interfaith, to come together to work on how do we address the youth obesity issue and create a healthier Dove Springs. In the late 90s, we were identified as the neighborhood that had the highest gang activity, youth crime. And so the Department of Public and Regulatory Services said, here community, here's $900,000, you figure out what you need to do to reduce juvenile crime. Well, when the money ran out, we're back to number 1. Nothing's changed. Why is that? The reason the programs did not make a sustainable change was because it was not led by community.
So we will keep folks informed.
So with Gava, that's how we're different. We use the tools that we teach in community organizing so that we can make sustainable change. So regardless, in 5 years when Gava runs out, that we have already by then identified ways to keep the work going.
I wasn't even familiar with its existence. I didn't know that there was an organization called Gava. I just happened to attend a meeting one day with my husband, and in that meeting I was impressed that Gava has so much influence and organization.
The most successful thing about Gava to me is that the residents are the ones who are doing the action planning and determining who has accountability for the steps required to achieve the strategies in their plan.
Based on the evidence-based strategies that we had in our roadmap, we determined there were 3 key sectors. One of them was access to healthy foods.
So the most remarkable thing about looking at an asset map of Dove Springs is this sort of sea of white picture. And what that indicates is that there is really no food access in the neighborhood. And that means no healthy food access and really limited unhealthy food access as well.
We've been able to bring a mobile produce stand to the Dove Springs Recreation Center, which ran throughout most of the summer, increasing access to fresh fruits and vegetables. We've been able to facilitate the installation of 2 community gardens, one La Paloma and the second at the River City Youth Foundation. We've had a tremendous amount of victory which focuses on parks improvements and neighborhood safety.
Earlier this year in 2013, I attended a Gava meeting, and I understood that Franklin Park was one of the neighborhood parks which have not been adopted. And I decided that it would be a good idea if my husband and some of the members could get together with other organizations here in this community to visit with the residents and see what their concerns were. We found out that primary concern here was security and lighting.
At Wadane Elementary School, parents were able to organize and get a commitment from AISD, and they were victorious in getting lighting installed at their playground, ensuring that children and families are using that playground after school and in the early evening.
It is important that you see that you as a resident can make a difference here in your community. And as of August, we've secured at least a $13,000 grant from Austin Park Foundation. And so we're excited. and we're trying to just keep that momentum going so that more and more residents in this area feels like this is a safe park where they can bring their families to have fun and enjoy.
And our third sector was our school sector, which focuses on physical activity and food access in schools.
We wanted to really help the education of our kids here because a lot of our schools are struggling with low performing scores. And so health is a huge piece of student learning at high levels. So we hope that once kids and parents understand how to cook healthier meals, how to get access to healthier foods, that kids will be better prepared and ready to learn.
So the principals and professional educators that we're working with are very excited about the work that we're doing and supportive of it because they know it'll also be in the interest of better academic outcomes in our neighborhood schools.
I am excited about the future because more and more residents here in the Dove Springs are becoming aware that they can make a difference in their own community and not have the feeling of dependency, where I'm dependent on funds or depending on outside resources, but that I as an individual can make a difference, and this team is igniting that message.